Well, okay, let's unpack this. If we are 98.7% identical to simians, right?
Right.
And there's only 1.3% differentiation, who's more evolved? We're consider ourselves to be more evolved. But you look at the simians, they have 48 chromosomes. We only have 46. Where did that change occur? Where did we get this new understanding? And how did we lose two chromosomes, even though we're 98.7% identical and behave just like them? There's that 1.3% differentiation, whether you want to call it the Anunnaki or some other influence that acted upon us. But there's been a change within our DNA and our structure. And we were given, the Sumerians were given their number system. That's where the 1 × 1 = 1 came from. So and their system of straight lines or the Platonic solid. So my thoughts is the individuals that wanted us here to whatever work, whatever manipulation they did for us, they wanted us to have a system of measurement, but something that could not contradict, not giving us the full picture. So they gave us a limited scope where we can measure small areas, but we would never need the larger areas. We'd never need to be able to move out in space because we were engineered for a particular reason. And those stories, you go right back, every civilization has similar stories. The Hindus have those same stories. The Africans with the Dogons,
yeah.
I think, same story. All of these stories proliferate around the entire globe in the ancient traditions. But what did the Catholic Church do? They went through all of these areas and destroyed all of those books, destroyed all of that information. Why? What
Just like the
purpose?
Taliban blew up the Buddhist statues.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did we destroy all of the Native Americans, all of their information? What was the purpose of it? There's a dumbing down that's happening.
Well, it's also a forced compliance, right? Comply with the new ideology. Whoever's in control, whether it's the Catholic Church or the United States government in the 1800s that prevented Native Americans from speaking their native language. Yeah. Now, if you're correct with this concept of a sun ejecting particles which eventually over billions of years form planets, and then there's a natural occurrence that happens where intelligent life forms emerge, and that this happens everywhere through the universe, and that there are steps, and that these steps that are past where we are is what we look on the iconic form of aliens with the large heads and the big eyes and the tiny spindly gray bodies. If we go to other planets, and we do, especially with drones, if something knows how to travel here from somewhere else and understands this process, because this process is ubiquitous throughout the entire universe,
yes.
Everyone, and at a certain level of technological sophistication and understanding of matter itself, especially if they have already figured all this stuff out a million years ago, they would probably want to experiment or even accelerate the evolution, our advancement. And it appears our advancement happens very unnaturally. I think most biologists will agree that the biggest mystery in the entire fossil record is the doubling of the human brain size over a period of 2 million years. It's a very, very, very fascinating point. It's not debatable.
Doesn't it scream manipulation from an external force?
Something, right? Something. It screams something took place, because it's an extraordinary something. And if it's the something that takes place that's responsible for the single most bizarre animal on the planet, the one that can manipulate its environment in a way that nothing contemporary can do, nothing alongside that lives with it in the same timeline is even close. Nothing's even remotely close. It's very, very, very different, but it's also extremely flawed for something that has such a high level of technical sophistication.
Because of our fundamentals.
Because we're still barbaric.
We're still
at core.
Flat. We know the world, the universe, and the world is round, but we're still using flat principles to approach it.
Right. And so if you were a super sophisticated creature from another planet and you needed some particular materials from our planet, and the Anunnaki story is all about gold.
Yes.
They needed gold.
Fixing up the...
Yeah. The idea was that they were going to, and this is all from Zecharia Sitchin's work, right? Mm-hmm. And the idea was that they were going to suspend gold particles in their atmosphere in order to protect their environment.
Because they had abused.
Yeah. They had abused it. And I think there was also some speculation about volcanic eruptions, that volcanic eruptions had probably ruined their atmosphere as well. But they had the ability to do something about it. And the way to do something about it is to mine gold. And that they took us and they created us
from the hominids.
From the hominids. The reason why that's so interesting is because gold is fucking useless 10,000 years ago. Why do you need gold? No one needs gold. If you're surviving, if you're a hunter-gatherer, gold means jack shit to you. Why is it the number one method of currency throughout all human beings, all over the world?
Well, remember... They abandoned. Remember, for a long time, like if you're thinking about Italians, they talk about it's salt, the soul.
Yeah,
it was salt.
Salt
food, was what we used for currency in exchange for the gold.
Right.
So where did the gold come? Why did we have an appetite?
Right.
For it.
Why?
If it wasn't placed into us, if it does not sustain us in any way.
It's very intriguing. It's very intriguing because it doesn't do anything. You can't make a weapon out of it. You can't make a tool out of it. It's too soft. It's excellent
they
for
weren't
electronics.
necessarily doing electronics, but silver is even more conductive. If you want it for electronics, silver is like 17 times the conductivity of gold.
Well, they weren't even using it for that. You're right. But they did use silver as well. Silver was also used as currency. But not like gold. Gold's the king. Always has been. Gold is number one.
So why do we love it? Why do we need it? Why do we trade life for it?
Always. Why have people risked their lives traveling across the sea with wooden boats filled up with it to the point where they sink? And then we find these fucking bones, these dead soldiers, surrounded by gold coins. It's crazy,
One of the greatest things about the linchpin is it's